I wish Star Trek. Discovery got to do the series ending they originally wanted. Star Trek. Discovery has always been a show of big swings. From its divisive first season through its bold time jump into the 32nd century, Discovery constantly reinvented itself, embracing change in a way few Star Trek series dared. But as it wrapped its fifth and final season, a bittersweet feeling lingered, not just because we were saying goodbye to Captain Michael Burnham and her crew, but because we didn't get the ending the creators originally envisioned. And frankly, I wish Star Trek Discovery got to do the series finale they really wanted. A history of reinvention and rushed endings. Unlike The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, which built to conclusive and thoughtful finales, Discovery faced an unexpected and abrupt curtain call. While it was originally greenlit for a sixth season, the decision was made mid-production of Season 5 to end the series early. This meant the cast and crew had to scramble, filming a final wrap-up coda months after principal photography ended. The result? A finale that was heartfelt but felt just slightly detached, like it wasn't the natural culmination of the season's arc, but a last-minute addition. This wasn't just a production hiccup, it was a loss of creative opportunity. The showrunners had envisioned a more expansive, meaningful goodbye, likely more emotionally grounded and integrated into the core storyline. Instead, fans got a time jump and voiceover epilogue that, while beautiful in spirit, didn't quite match the build-up or fully celebrate the journey we'd been on. The finale we got. Ambitious, but abrupt. To be fair, Discovery's final season was one of its most solid. The galactic treasure hunt plotline, the return of ancient progenitor tech, and the character growth of Burnham, Saru, Book, Tilly, and others all pointed towards something monumental. And while the final confrontation and Burnham's last mission had grandeur, the coda, with a suddenly aged Burnham in command of a now legendary ship, and an emotional handoff of the Discovery to Starfleet's future, felt more like a poetic footnote than a true climax. The biggest letdown wasn't the lack of spectacle, but the feeling that so much was left unsaid. What happened to Book and Burnham after their final embrace? How did Saru's diplomatic future play out with Trina? What of Adira and Gray's personal journey or the legacy of the Spore Drive? Fans who followed these characters for 5 years deserved more than glimpses. They deserved closure. What the original ending might have been. While we may never get the full breakdown of the original plan, showrunner Michelle Paradise and other insiders hinted that the intended ending was far more expansive. It likely would have included more screen time for secondary characters, a longer emotional arc for Burnham's farewell, and perhaps a more direct link to Starfleet's future, tying Discovery into the wider lore in a deeper, more permanent way. One theory suggests that the series was building toward a transition of Discovery's role from an exploratory vessel to a symbol of peace and unity, possibly laying the groundwork for the Federation's expansion across galaxies. Another rumor posits a crossover or legacy handoff to other series like Starfleet Academy or even a cameo-filled epilogue, much like Picard Season 3's final act. In short, the original finale was imagined as a culmination, not a concession. Why it matters. Some may argue that an ending is an ending, and we should be grateful we got closure at all. But Discovery was the flagship of modern Trek's return. It broke boundaries with its representation, took narrative risks, and redefined what Star Trek could be. It deserved to end on its own terms, not because the studio needed to make room on the schedule or shift focus to newer series. And then there's Michael Burnham herself. As Trek's first black female lead, Sonequa Martin Green's performance was a revelation. Her journey, from disgraced mutineer to Starfleet captain, deserved a final chapter as ambitious and layered as the character herself. Instead, we got a condensed coda that, while touching, felt like it was skipping pages. Discovery's legacy, still unfolding. Despite the rushed finale, Discovery's impact on Star Trek is undeniable. It paved the way for Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, and Picard. It introduced bold new storytelling methods, embraced serialized plots, and opened the door for new types of